Bless up one and all. Once again, I am Troy Graham, and you are here to, and it's the Troy Graham Experience. And on tonight's show, I don't know how I did it, but it got done. I don't have the brothers Johnson, I don't have the brothers Grimm, but I got brother Damon Jones and brother DJ Rebel, aka the baddest man you ever seen behind a turntable or in studio. And it took 30 years to do it, but it got done. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world, without any further delay, let me introduce DJ Shawn Rebel to get us started. And basically, the conversation tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is about brotherhood, business, success, and failures, and how we all stay together, being brothers in business together, family and finances. Let's get it started there, brother Faulkner. It's all yours.
Let's start off with brotherhood. All three of us grew up kind of together, different perspectives and different walks of life in the whole world, and we ended up being around each other for some odd reason. The cosmos hit, and Troy was there, Damon was there. So, to forever, I'm endeavored and in debt to say these are my brothers on this podcast today. Salute you, Troy. Salute you, Damon. um, Brothers in spirit, brothers in blood. It doesn't even matter because that's where things pop off and people want to claim cousins and people can't claim blood. But when you have a friend or even I would say a business partner in perspective, or somebody that you could really trust, and that's where the big T word is trust. So when you can trust someone from a perspective of business and personal, you got a friend and a brother for life, or a sister. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the sisters out there as well. So that's where we are. The bloodline doesn't matter if we're related or not. We all look alike anyway. So, and that's being funny. Ha ha ha. TV land. Shout out to everybody out there. Organic Radio Show. But yeah, we do a lot of stuff, man. And with the business part of it, it's all down except the same thing is going to be trust. So when you have a business, you have to trust the people that work with you and for you and around you, which is customers, your support team, and your partners. You have to trust all of that operation goes smoothly and flows in accordance to what you want your business to do daily, hourly, minutely, secondly, etc. So with that said, I encumber all of that. I'm using big words today like I'm smart, but I encumber all of that with my team right here. So shout out again, Damon Jones and my man Troy Grant. So that's basically it in a nutshell, man. Giving everybody some diamonds out there. If you have a team that's real strong and you can go far back with them, you know them since day one. These are my day ones. And with that said, we were able to do a lot of things with and without each other and still come right back together to knock everything out. You feel me?
Absolutely. Did we lose Troy?
I have no idea what happened to Troy. We live though.
Ah, baby. So, just like you said, bro. I mean, this is what it's all about. Shoot, we've been doing this stuff here for years, eons. There you go, Troy back. What happened, man? How you
Well,
how you going to just dip out on your own podcast, bro?
I was listening, man, but my fat fingers hit the wrong button and kick myself out of the house. Yeah, man. I turned myself to DJ Jazzy Jeff and Ain't Uncle Phil at the same time. But go ahead, Damon.
No, crazy. Oh my goodness, man. It's been a heck of a ride, bro. Just like Shawn was saying. I mean, ever since school, we all been doing this stuff. We always had the entrepreneur heart and the mentality to go out there and get it, the hustle mentality. And as you get older, you get families, the whole 9 yard. Life happens, but you gotta maintain and do what you need to do to make sure that you're getting things done, but you're also doing them the right way. Because now you got people looking at you, you got your siblings looking at you, your children looking at you, and it's about setting things up the right way so you can have a legacy at the end of the day, right? So we want to definitely make sure that what we do, we can pass down. Somebody else can run the business once I'm gone, or however, and just make sure that it's okay to make mistakes. It's fine to fail, because you can always bounce back. The comeback is the best part of it, so that's the biggest thing as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I've had so many businesses, it's still working a 9 to 5, doing what I got to do because, I got a career for one, not just a job, but I have a career. But then also I got my clothing business. That's my main thing right now. So the way I'm pushing that, having my career too, family, and just making sure everything gels. And the best part of it is that you incorporate your family into what you do. As far as I'm concerned, as far as the way I do my thing. But everybody's different. Depends on what you're doing. But like Shawn was saying, as far as gyms, having people around that you can trust, um, like you guys, family. I mean, it's a whole bunch of cats out there that we roll with. But as far as the stuff that we do here, when it comes to Dealer Shawn, that was just a brainchild. As far as coming up with the whole concept. Divine love shall encompass all nations. That's the whole meaning. And when the pandemic hit, that was like, something going off. Like, all right, I got some free time on my hands. I'm home. And, I don't like to be idle. So let's dig into the bag and see what we can come up with. And I just started doing my research, man, and putting things together. And I took my time with it. And that was the biggest thing because I had time. So it wasn't no rush. It wasn't no, I got to do this now. And it was just a matter of product testing and making sure I had the right stuff, talking to people, just reaching out and seeing what people wanted and trying to make sure I could deliver. And then the delivery part was like crazy because my delivery was faster than Amazon. So it was like, you needed something that day, you got it like that day. So it wasn't no issue. So that was another thing too, as far as getting your niche and figuring out what it is that you want to do. I figured all that out ahead of time, so I just wrote it all down and just stuck to the plan, man. That was the whole thing, it's just making sure that you had all your I's dotted, your T's crossed, and just pushing. That was the biggest thing for me. And knowing that I had the backing of my peoples, that was the biggest thing. You having that support system is so huge. My wife, my kids, even got my son going. He got his own thing going. So I mean, it's a beautiful thing. You know.
Yeah, now Damon. Well, I'm gonna get back to Shawn in a second, but Damon, I want you to stand up for a second. Just show your show the hoodie you got on.
Oh, the
So,
dealer shirt.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know if he's told. I don't know if he said the meaning of what that means. Your business yet? Did he say that already, or did it just fly over my head?
Yeah, dealer Shawn stands for divine love shall encompass all nations. It's all about love. That's the
I
whole.
got to back up a little bit so they can see you. Back
Yeah,
up.
that's the whole meaning.
Okay, right there is good.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah, right there. All
Yeah.
right, cool. So yeah, so yeah, that's his business, folks. And I know you work with Shawn when when he's had shows. I know he's had artists and all that. Tell
Yeah.
us how you all incorporate that. Let's start with Shawn. How do you let's say if you need to get some stuff from Damon, how does that all gel and work together while you trying to handle your own business?
It's just like any other business. If you think about it, you send an invoice to your customer, and if I'm the customer, I have to call the business and request my items or my retail, whatever it is that I'm trying to purchase, and that's how it goes down. After the business is over and the dotted T's and dotted I's and crossed T's and all of that, then the business is done. Then it's back to being brothers. Simple as that.
Right now, Shawn, give us a little bio of what you do because I called you, DJ Rebel, but I know your history, but but the audience doesn't. So why don't you give them a little bit of what you've done in the music business?
Growing up, I started playing the drums at the age of 3. My mom seen that I had a talent. My full name is Shantae. So if anybody knows me since I was like a little lad, my full name is Shantae, and my mom named me that because it means to sing in French, but she spelled it differently, like Jay-Z, like Shawn, Shawn. added a Tay on the end. So nobody really know that. But um, growing up, of course, you get picked on. You have a girl name. I was like, all right. So I wanted to rap and I wanted to break dance. Going back to the '70s and '80s, and had to come up with a name. So some cats came down from because I was in Maryland, and some cats came down from New York and inducted me into the New York City Breakers, right? So they called me Little Pop. So no, a lot of people didn't know that either. So I was Little Pop in the New York City Breakers, but I was the Maryland chapter. Um, then from Little Pop, I was still DJing and beat boying and graffiti writing and MCing and making beats. So I came up with a lot of names, but the name that came out of everything is because I'm an introvert was Rebel. So Rebel was the name that stuck because it fit me to the point where I can get with you and I can get with 2 million people, but then where's Rebel? Where's Shawn? Shawn's gone. Because after I do my business, I'm out. I go get to myself and stay by myself. So Rebel was like, I'm a renegade as well. So if there's a revolution need to be going on, I will spark it. I will be the idea of the spark, or I will be the one that's holding the meeting for the spark, or I will be the spark. One of those three. I'm either going to do it, be part of it, or I am the spark. You know what I'm saying? So that's where Rebel comes from. And long story short, I'm not gonna make this long because I know you got other things to do, Troy. But my background is drums, keyboard. I have an engineering degree, IT degree. Um, I've done mad production for celebrities that's now billionaires and millionaires. I've sold tracks to famous artists.
Okay, hold on
And
one
that's
second for me there, Rebel. I got to go do Mike Tyson on you, right?
uh-huh.
Name them names. Name them names, man. Name them
Um,
names. And I'm just
the
like,
reason why I don't drop names is because I signed a contract for
oh,
disclosure.
okay.
So with disclosure, you can't mention who it is or who you did stuff for because then it breaches the contract, which I will get sued, and I don't like to get sued for nothing. Let's just say some of your favorite rappers have beats from the Rebel. That's all I can tell you. And Damon Jones can witness that because he was there for some of those tracks being produced, and then we sent them off, and then they were on the radio.
Yes, sir. All right, Damon. I've known you for a minute too. When did you first realize you had the gift for, creating the clothing? Because I know that I remember when you first got the first machine. What's it called, Damon? The press? It was a press, or what was it? The first machine you got?
Yeah, that was like 20 years ago though, for real.
Bro, I have a good memory. But go man.
But like back then though, that was just like, just something to do, man. It wasn't even nowhere near to the level that we doing stuff now. That was like just wanted to make something, and it was like transfers, it was just like iron-ons, it wasn't even nowhere near the scale that, the business I built is doing now. So it's like, yeah, it was just a hobby. Back then it was more the music, like Shawn was saying, it was we was just doing so much music stuff, working with different artists, managing artists, going on different tours, and it was just having fun, just doing that. That was the biggest thing. And learning that business. From there, after like family and everything else took over, it became a different situation for me. I saw a need for something because during the pandemic, it opened my eyes to a lot of things. I don't know if you ever went out. Remember when everybody was locked down, and I had like a kind of like a necessity job where I had to go to work.
Was that
So
in '96 or was that the other one in
no, I'm talking
2000
like
something?
just during the pandemic, like in 2020. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
okay.
So remember when everybody was locked down and nobody was on the street, right? You had to have like a card or something saying that you were working if a cop stopped you or whatever. And you could drive down the road and see nothing. It's just the lights, from the street lights on and the moon. That was pretty much it. They took. I remember there was a picture I saw on the internet of LA and how clear it was. No smog, no nothing. And just looking at that beauty and the quietness and thinking of how peaceful it was, also made me start thinking about, what this world needed. And all the, people really got to know themselves really well when they were locked down. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, um, if you didn't, really like your mate that came about, whatever, it was like, man, I'm cooped up with this person and whatever, whatever. So it was like people really got to know who they really were if they didn't already. And it was funny to watch that, but then at the same time, on the flip side of it, it was a peaceful situation, even though there was a lot of, sadness going on too with people dying. I mean, there wasn't nothing funny about that at all. But at the same time, on the flip of it, what this world needed was some love. And I was thinking from an aspect of, well, if I could make something that, you know, spoke to people as far as putting different verbiage on clothes and, let the clothes speak for what you were feeling, what you were saying, what your innermost thoughts were sometimes, but you were scared to speak it. You know what I'm saying? I said, I'm gonna do something like that. But that was the whole meaning behind, when I came up with Dealer Shawn. It was weird because at the same time people were going through the pandemic, they were getting to know themselves, they were getting to know the family even better. They actually talked people off their phones a little bit more because they had to face that person every day. Nobody was in and out because they couldn't be, so it actually brought some type of normalcy too, with everything that was going on in the world. But at the same time, there was a lot of hatred out there, and I was like, trying to always try to look, a blind eye to the negativity and just try to, bring about some type of positive energy out of everything that's happening. So I wanted to come out with a clothing line that spoke to that, and that was the whole meaning behind, divine love shall encompass all nations. I was looking at the bigger picture as far as having, a brand that would just speak to love. It's all about love. That was the slogan, what I'm saying, behind everything that I was doing. So that was my whole premise, and then to come out with clothing that was comfortable for anybody, didn't matter if you was a female, male, whoever, what I'm saying, just you just wore it, you felt good. It wasn't itchy, what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing that was going to, you
Did
washed
it
it.
shrink after you washed it?
It wasn't shrinking on you. I mean, this is comfortable stuff. What I'm saying? It's like real lounge gear. Because everybody was working from home. That could, and people was in their pajamas. They would throw a little bit of makeup on for a Zoom meeting, and that was it. What I'm saying? It was like that's how they did it. So we had to go through that for some time. So I was like, all right, let me do something that people could actually, get with and actually feel good about. And that was the whole thing. So I just started digging deeper and deeper, and then, by me being a writer and stuff like that, it was easy to come up with different concepts and different things and stuff like that. And then a lot of my customers are female, so it was like, you know, they were loving it. They was loving the hoodies and t-shirts, stuff like that. So then I started looking at different ways that, you can kind of break away from it. So I started doing embroidery and getting jackets done, zip up jackets done, doing hats, everything. So I mean, it's a good vibe, man. It's all about just expanding and just making sure that you stay on top of your people as far as letting them know what you got, keeping your customer base close, and talking to them. I reach out to my peoples all the time. Hey, what you feel about this? You like this outfit? I'm gonna grab some of these or whatever, whatever, and just do what I got to do. But
I ain't never get no damn Christmas card, boy. But let me.
let me tell you about yourself. You
Huh?
you went to North Carolina. I didn't even know you was in North Carolina until later. I was like, what you wear? So you rolled out on me.
Us.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
It's
You
me, man. It's me. I keep hitting the same button. But go ahead.
see how I do? See how I do?
Mhm.
He gonna dip off his own podcast. See, baby.
No, no, no. No, but go ahead, Max. I want to ask Shawn.
Yeah.
We all know that in business, you gotta spend money to actually make money. And you being the DJ, how did you facilitate all that? Because I've seen your equipment. Okay, let me tell a quick story, and then you jump right in here, right?
All
It
right.
was, it was years ago. We were in our 20s, and I think, and then Shawn called us over the house, right, Damon? And I
Right.
think he had these blank tickets. They were white. He said he was going to do a show and all that, and he said at the end of the day, this is going to be common for us because this is going to be how much money we going to make like daily, right? and he was like,
Facts.
he had you. I think at the time you were singing, then you would do your Key Sweat, and I was the main writer there because he asked me to write some stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then he said I had to dumb it down. I kind of got offended by that, and I said, okay, I'm gonna go start writing again,
Got-
right?
I'll be right back.
Huh?
This
I got
mute.
somebody knocking on my door. I'll be right back.
Okay, cool. So as the story goes, I wrote a song, and he was like, "This is good, but you don't have you don't have a chorus to it, all right now." So he's the one who taught me how to write a chorus. Him, right? He just said it don't have to be too deep. It just has to repeat itself, right? And
Repetition.
so, which is what I did, right? So, and then he was like, you got to be patient. We're gonna take our time because you got to hit. At that time, I was like, months passed, a year passed. I didn't want to be patient no more, so I jumped out there. And Shawn will tell you, that the damn song went platinum, but I see about as much money as a blind man did, right? Then he'll tell you, I told you to be patient. And then, but basically, he's always been the one, like, say if this was the Temptations, he'd be Otis. He'd be our tuning fork that will bring us back together, right? So,
Mhm.
but that was the story. But fast forward to present day, when did you realize that you have to sink all of you into doing this? When did you realize this was your dream and destiny, Shawn?
I really didn't. It's in my blood. My mom sung for James Brown as a backup singer. Um, my father played the saxophone and he sang for a couple of R&B and jazz bands. So I've been inducted into this without question. It was part of my life, man.
Okay, okay. So it sounds like you come from a musical family.
Yep, and
Uh,
one of the sisters is LP. Shout out to LP. She's a songstress, and mom's named her Stephanie because she sang like Stephanie Mills. She a little tiny thing, but got pipes like the Grand Canyon. You know what I mean?
Word.
So it's just a lot to it. But and Damon sings. You write the whole
hmm
thing. I mean, I like I said, I'm inducted into this. I was born to do it. Ever since I started banging on drums, and it started from there. And the DJ thing came later when I turned 8. I went to my first concert up in Brooklyn, New York, and it was a guy out there DJing, and I gave him dap. I didn't even know what dap was. I couldn't shake his hand. He was DJing, so I just put my fist out, and I guess that I don't know who made dap up, but I gave him dap that day, and he was DJing out in the park, man. And that was one of the park jams out in Brooklyn, man. And I'll never forget it. And I said, whatever he has right now that he's spinning on, whatever these platters are that's spinning around, I need to have those. And lo and behold, 3 years later, I'll tell the story later. It's already on my podcast as well. But a guy decided that he liked what I was doing and how I was making my beats, and he decided to buy me some 1200s, and the rest is history. I know everybody got digital stuff now. I started off with 1200s. I never really, I won't say never. I'll leave that alone. But the turntables I had first was Mickey Mouse turntables. They was a suitcase. You had them in a suitcase. Little
Yeah,
knob you turn
yeah.
on, then you have to plug it in the wall. And that's what I started off with. People made fun of me because I had a little speaker on the box, but I was tearing it up. You know what I'm saying? And after I got the 1200s, that was it. Nobody can mess with me. Period.
Yeah. So I guess there's a question for both of y'all now. How do you go from saying, okay, I'm just going to do this on the side to making it the forefront, to saying I got to stick my time, energy, and of course my money into it, and I'm going to work with my brother to do it also. How do you sell a vision to your family and friends and all that? How do you sell your vision? I should say, yeah.
It's as far as selling the vision, they can already see it. So that piece is already sold. It's just proper planning, man. Everything has its time, like they say, everybody got their season. Everything has a season. So I've never been one to rush things because I like to be meticulous and take my time and try to plan as best I can, even though sometimes things come without planning. But things always tend to fall in your lap at the right time. I know that happens for me a lot. It's just the way of the universe, I guess you could say. But at the same time, um, as far as like pushing what you want and doing it, having like these conversations, you know what I'm saying, having that camaraderie with your peoples, and they see what you're trying to do. They believe in you, you know, and you of course believe in you, else you wouldn't be pushing it. So it's like if you can see something in it, then you know, I think that's the vision right there. So the way that you plan it, the way that you put it out, you know, that's the biggest thing. People gravitate towards that, you know. And I mean, we've done so many things, you know, so it's just fun when you think about the bigger picture. I'm actually home. I'm not away. My wife can see me every day. You know what I'm saying? My kids can see me, you know. Um, I'm not traveling a lot. I mean, I can travel, but I mean, my thing is home base. That was one of the key things for me too, because I used to be gone all the time, you know. So it was like buckling down. I can do everything right here in house. And that was the whole premise of me setting this thing up the way I did, because I didn't want to be away from my family. You know what I'm saying? I'm a family dude. Um, man, I love my peoples, but at the same time, you know, I just wanted to make sure that everything that I did had a purpose, and you know, every piece of clothing that I put out, you know, whatever the verbiage is that's on it, you know, whatever, I wanted to make a statement, you know, and that was the whole point, you know, of the whole brand. So, you know, and this is making traction. The only thing I got to do now is just really just push my marketing piece of it. And once I do that, it's a wrap. But that's has its own plan too. I got that lined out too. So I'm just taking my time with it, man. Just building up the catalog and then just gonna flood them. That's it.
And I piggyback right off of that. What he's doing with the clothing, I'm doing with the music, and vice versa. And we
Right.
decided that the music and the clothing go along together. It's not a secret. We're not reinventing the wheel. We're just making the wheel look prettier. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
So we already had the music down since day one, since you've known us, Troy, and that was the easy part. So the hardest part was trying to market the retail side of things, selling CDs, selling the music, getting the music in the right hands, getting it out there, distributing it independently. Because I'm not going to say it's hard to do it when you're under a label. When you're under the battery, when the battery's on your back, you can do a whole lot of stuff. But when you have to do it with your own marketing dollars and sales and different management teams and stuff like that, you have people that's basically out for self. And I'm not going to down everybody, but everybody's like, what can you do for me versus what can I do for you? And that's the problem we've been running into for a long period of time. So of course, when you go independent, what are you saying when you go independent? I can do this by myself. That's not true. Here's the diamond for you. Anybody out there listening to this podcast right now, you cannot do it by yourself. You need a strong team that you trust, that has your best interest, and that will get a ROI, which is a return on interest. And that's what we've done. We decided to do a Wall Street on our own, and it's been working. I invest into Damon's business, and Damon invests into mine. We run a whole lot of stuff, man. So it's just a circle of economic viable situations that we can continue to do. You know what I'm saying?
And you left out that I invest into y'all, but not so much with money, but with a lot of bartering and a lot of networking because I
Man,
introduced y'all to different
you're part
people
of
and all
this.
that. Yeah.
Hey, to the
I need
world.
this.
Troy is part of this. Troy is part of this. Troy has his own podcast. Shout out to my man Glenn for Major Key Boxing as well. You're a lot of entrepreneurship around the marketing part and portions of what we're trying to do, Troy. So no, we didn't leave you out. This is what we have in this meeting in this podcast for.
Well, yeah, that's because I'm the middle child out the bunch. But Damon, I'm gonna say something. When you were speaking, I was listening. You said you're diligent and you like to wait things out, right?
Absolutely.
I don't know if you mind me telling the story. What story am I going to tell when you came back? You came in from the military, right? And we
What's
took you
what
out.
you talking about? Because we got plenty.
No, when you first came back that night from the military, we took you out to eat. We went to TGI Fridays, I think.
Oh Lord, that story. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay. So let me set it up. So we went to TGI Fridays. His brother had his sunglasses on because back in the day, he was the dog Gable out the bunch of us, right? So,
Crazy.
so, so we go to TGI Fridays up in security. If you're from Maryland, they know where it is. So we were waiting in line to get seated, and this girl comes up, and this girl and her man and his six friends was there, and the girl turned out to turn to Damon and said, "How you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. How how your mom and them doing?" She's like, "Oh, hey, everybody good? You know how your mother doing? I haven't seen them in a while now." That her boyfriend looking at her, and he's looking at Damon. Who is this Negro? Oh, yeah, this is a family friend. Family friend. You know, we go way back. So she was like, "Yeah, go well, call her. Call me sometimes. I know mom would love to hear from you. Give him the number right in front of her boyfriend. Go sit down." And I pulled him over. I said, "You don't know who the hell that is, do you? You try to get us killed up."
It happens. It happens. That's how it was back then, man. You know how it was. It was crazy. Oh my God, crazy time.
I'm glad I wasn't there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah, me
yeah,
too.
shit, there's so many stories like that, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, we ain't gonna be on here that long. We writing books now. That's
Yeah.
how
So,
that's our stories.
Yeah, man, because I stayed in character. I just looked at you and I looked away because you know, back then, two things would have happened. I would have laughed or I would have said something and it'd been like, "You was a lying," and then something would have happened, right?
mhm.
But I stayed in character that night. I saved your life.
Appreciate you. I was ready.
And yet the world still doesn't know what you guys are talking about. So
Ab- ab-
told a
Absolutely.
whole
Okay.
story about something they don't understand.
Okay. Well, back to the question at hand.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man. So tell us now. Let's take a journey through fatherhood, man, because I know it's important to all three of us. Fatherhood, business, and all that. How does that work out? Because both of you used to travel a lot. That I know about. Shawn used to travel a lot. How did you handle that being a husband, father, and all that
I
traveling?
will I will confess on this podcast right now, it's the roughest, toughest, most downgrading thing you can ever do to part ways with your family, to go out on the road and do something without them because they feel like you're not there. And of course you're not. In the physical form, you're not there with them. You can call, you can reassure, you can assure, you can ensure, but you can't be there physically in the form to touch them and tell them that everything's going to be okay when they lay their head on the pillow. That
Mhm.
was rough times, bro. Rough times. It
I,
it cost me some time. It cost me a few females. Yeah, it definitely is a rough thing in the music industry, as well as anything that you're doing that you have your heart set on, as far as what you're trying to do, as far as your goal in life to go forward or to make a move as a man. When you have children involved and you have your counterpart, your spouse, your significant other, because a lot of people aren't married. But whatever the case may be, your confidant, that person relies on you just like you rely on them. So when you part it and go somewhere else, that's half of you gone. You know what I'm saying? That's how they feel until you get back to them to make one. So it's been rough for me, bro. And I can't lie to you that the beats that I make is based off the pain that I felt from the past, dealing with the time apart from the family. So the pain goes into the beat. The beat is hard. Everybody loves it, but they don't realize that's where it's coming from. That strength of that beat that I was making is based off the fact that I'm missing the family, missing out on opportunities, seeing somebody at a game, or doing the father thing, because we don't get a lot of time to talk about what fathers do versus what moms do. Moms get celebrated all of the time. All we do is like, hey, we the honeydew list guys, with a mechanic, with everything but hey dad, I'm gonna get you a card for Father's Day. Why? And they say, well, all you did was help make me. That's how most of the society feels, that we just help make kids, we don't help raise them, but we actually raise them. The women, they nurture them. We raise the kids, the women nurture the kids, and there is a difference. If anybody want to battle or debate with me, we can go off and do that immediately, because um getting you ready for something to happen out there in the world. The woman's going to tell you certain things, cash your fears or whatever, but the man is going to prepare you for that particular moment because the man already went through it. Simple as that. I'll let Damon handle. Hey, bro, I hate to cut it short. I gotta go. I've been
Hmm.
called and summoned, but we definitely got to pick this up and do a whole segment on just the fatherhood, because that's a touchy subject, bro. And I would definitely love to do a subject matter podcast on that, definitely. But y'all, my brothers, I love y'all, and shout out to everybody out there that's watching, and we're gonna get it popping on another segment. All right.
Much respect, man. Thank you for your time, brother. All right, love you, man.
Right.
Damon, all right, go ahead and speak. You know what? I don't know if you want to share anything about your past and your father and what made you the father you are today, because we all know things about each other. So just
Yeah.
feel free to share as much as your soul tells you to share. I can't tell you what to do and what not to do.
Right. So it's funny. Me having kids. Woo! I tell you, when I had my first son, Damon Nicholas Jones, I tell you, bro, that was like such an eye-opening experience for me. Um, you know, I don't know if like guys really understand or females understand. Like, I guess it just really depends on the type of person that you are. At the end of the day, for me growing up, you know, you grow up on TV, you looking at different strokes. I'm dating myself, different strokes, you seeing Leave It to Beaver, you seeing all these people with these families, the mom and the dad, the dog in the house, picket fence and all that. And that wasn't how we came up, but that's what subliminally you seeing every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for me, it was a one parent household. My mom was there for me. My mom and my pops, they broke up. But then as time flew on, she got remarried or got married. You know what I'm saying? And then it's dealing with the step situation and all that. So for me, it really wasn't like I really had a strong father figure in that situation where I was like, all right, I'm going to epitomize this and just try to, you know, gear my life towards the way I'm being structured. I had like uncles, you know what I'm saying? I had great uncles and uncles that really like looked out for me, and strong black women, you know what I'm saying, in my family, my mom, my grandmother, my aunts, my mom's girlfriends that are like my aunts, man. They all Deltas. Shout out to the Delta Sigma Thetas. You know what I'm saying? They all they basically raised me, man. I learned a lot from women, you know what I'm saying? And I learned a lot from men. And when it came to me having my children, you know what I'm saying, I wanted to always make sure they had way more opportunities and way more, listen to me, and they had, just a better upbringing. Not to say that I had a bad upbringing, but just had more opportunities, I guess. They all had the privilege to go to private school, every last one of them. You know what I'm saying? And that was all from the village, me, my wife, my mom, my grandmother, everybody, we all chipped in. We did what we had to do because, we saw how it was out here. You know what I'm saying? And not to say knock public school or anything like that. Everybody's different, but everybody's generation is different too. You know what I'm saying? It's a generational thing. When we were coming up, it was more the village. You know what I'm saying? You had the village. Nowadays, you hardly even see kids outside. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's all with the technology and everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole different animal. And you're trying to raise kids from the mindset of your upbringing where it's totally different now, because not only that they are not in the sense where as though they looking at you like, oh man, you don't know what you're talking about, you old school. I got my iPhone, I got this, I got social media, we didn't have none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we all came into it. They was born into it. You know what I'm saying? We had to learn it. They was born into it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they automatically just pick right up. Not to say that we old or slow, but I mean that's how they,
No, no, no.
you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so it was a different thing. So my take, when we had our kids, my three boys, it was the best time of my life, man. Not since the day I got married. It was just the right thing for me. Um, it made me grow. You know what I'm saying? I grew a lot because for one, these little people are looking at you. You know what I'm saying? So whatever energy you're projecting, it's going to go right onto them. So you got to make sure that you as positive as you can possibly be. You know what I'm saying? Or at least trying to be, and then showing them the right way. That guidance is key, man. So, as a father, I take pride in all that because, my boys, they know me. They know everything about me. You know what I'm saying? I don't hide nothing from my kids. And the fact that I just keep it 100. I've always been the same guy, since day one. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the way I am with everybody. But I
That's
mean,
not true.
oh, come on, I did get better.
No, no, I was about to intervene and say,
I did get
no, no, I was about to say to you, you grown. How many times
better.
we've talked, I always said that I'm proud of you,
Man,
man.
you always tell me that, bro. And believe me, I
Yeah, I
take it
always said that.
because you know me. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah,
watched you grow
you
for
put
myself.
me in some situations too. Thank you,
Yes,
but go ahead.
I have. Yes, I have. But see, I knew you were there. I could trust you.
No, you knew I could fight, so go ahead.
We all could fight. I mean, but you were just a bigger dude. I was like, what, 157 dripping wet. I was skinny as hell back then. I was a toothpick, bro. But nah, the biggest thing I think for me, man, was just making sure that they understood that these privileges that you have, you can't take them for granted. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand that you're in a situation right now that you know is being afforded to you because of the hard work that people are putting in to make sure that you get the way you need to be. And at the end of the day, that's it. And I always tell people, they're like, your kids are so well spoken, they so well mannered, blah blah. I'm like, look, my kids listen. You know what I'm saying? They actually listen. And not but the grace of God. I mean, I know a lot of people got issues with their children and whatever. But I don't have those issues. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they listen, bro, and they understand. I mean, anything can happen. Anything can be taken away from you any second. You know what I'm saying? You gotta enjoy the moment. You gotta embrace the moment, and you gotta take full advantage of every opportunity given to you. And that's been stamped in their head. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, we not busting our butt to make sure that you just be mediocre. I want you to be great. You know what I'm saying? That's how you got to speak to these kids. Because see, if I was going to be out there giving like a speech to, mentorship or whatever, whatever, yeah, we all got things that we deal with. We all got baggage, but that baggage, don't let it define you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take it to the next level. And that's what I talk to my kids about all the time. It's like, look, you know how good you are. Just go out there and prove it. I mean, my
Yeah,
young,
yeah, and you're an example of how you use pain for purpose. I like to say, if you don't mind me saying that, right?
you got to push back.
You, yeah, you use pain for purpose. And the reason I say I'm proud of you because I know we don't have to get into it, but I
Right.
know just like you know things about me, I know things about you. And I
Mhm.
was like, wow, this dude is definitely did a whole 360 and all. Because I don't know how many times I threatened to put you in the ER and all that stuff, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
so just to watch them, because if I've had the pleasure of being around his kids, I call them my nephews. They have this. They have the privilege of being pleasant and positive, and that
Right.
really is a privilege. You don't really get that with everybody. Everybody's kids in some way has a taint. They put them through something, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know if they put you out through anything, but what I see in those kids is that they actually are given a chance to live their dreams. And number two is that they want to make their parents proud. And
Right.
that's
Right.
that's that that's all God right there. I can't take that's
I,
God
I,
and the fact that He's blessing you and your wife and your family, man.
I can't take no credit other than the fact that I had a hand in making those kids. But at the same time, I mean, it's all God, bro. I mean, I pray for them just like any parent pray for their children. You know what I'm saying? You give them the best. You try to keep them on the right path. You talk to them. I mean, anything can happen in this world. You know what I'm saying? But I swear, guardian angels are looking down, and they always blessing us. And I just thank God for the blessings and for the kids keeping their heads on straight. You know what I'm saying? Because you out there in life, man. Depends on the crowd you hang with. We all been through it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they just somehow keep their head on the right type of swivel and keep it moving and do what they got to do. I mean, hell, Nick is 22. He about to graduate from college this year. Daniel about to graduate from high school this year.
Damn,
Dom,
that was fast. I'm getting
yeah,
old, boys. I remember the first day he went to school.
bro, I'm telling you, it's like a blink of an eye. So these boys are young men rather. They there. Everybody taller than us. You know what I'm saying? Everybody looking at me like, how you get these tall kids? Like, hey, it's in the gene pool somewhere. But yeah, man, it's like I couldn't be more proud of those young men. They doing their thing, and they making it a priority. that's one thing I can honestly say as far as like how I talk to them, like how we talk is how I talk to them. It's on the hundred, it's on the real. It's like, look, what are you doing? What's your plan? I mean, where do you see yourself in not 5 years? Where do you see yourself tomorrow? What are we doing? What I'm saying? Because if you need help, we all here to help. But at the same time, what's the plan? What I'm saying? Because you got to have something ready to go, so we can go ahead and make it happen. I mean, it's all about giving them that push and making sure that, they see that, hey, we got your back regardless. I don't care how many times you fail, what I'm saying? Because that's part of the process. What I'm saying? Nobody is going to get it overnight. You might, but at the same
Yeah, well, you might not, but it could take time. But question for you:
yeah,
how do you like because you have your own dreams for your business.
right.
I'm sure you taught them some of it, but how do you stop yourself from saying, okay, you gonna take this over when I'm gone, and not allowing them to live out their own dreams? Because a lot of parents live that, they live through the
Yeah.
children's success and all that. So how do you go about dealing with that one?
So that's a good question. I don't ever want to put something on somebody. You know what I mean? I think that does more harm than anything. Man, you just blacked out on me again, bro. I guess I'm on the spot myself. Did you fat finger that thing again, Troy? But anyway, there you go. He's back. So my thing is like with Nick, prime example. Um, Nick has so many possibilities and things that he wants to do, and he has his own dreams, just like all my boys have their dreams. You know what I'm saying? And the things that they want to accomplish in their life. My business has no impact on stopping them from doing what they want to do. They can definitely do whatever they want to do. And I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they want to do, but when it comes to my business, that's my business. I'm going to grow it how I see fit. Talk to my peoples, and we're going to make things happen. And that's it. If it's a piece where we're talking like passing down legacy, here's an inheritance type situation where as though I got generational wealth, that's what I'm building. But at the same time, it's about making sure that it's going to always be there just in case they want to tap into it. And I'm showing them how to do the thing. So I mean, it's not like they're not going to know. And Nick, he also has his own clothing business. So with Nick doing his own thing, I learn from him just like he learns from me. We just bounce ideas off of each other because he has his niche, I have my niche. It's enough money out here for everybody. So everybody that grandmother started a t-shirt business as far as I knew when the pandemic hit. It was like, sheesh. So it was like, what's gonna make yours different than everybody else? And that's when you find your niche, So like I say, man, when it comes to passing stuff down, will they want it? It doesn't matter to me. I just know it's gonna be there in case they need it. You know what I'm saying? Because my whole thing is run your own show. Be a businessman. You only can fire yourself if you don't want to work. You know what I'm saying? So having ownership, that's key, man. Ownership, owning your own thing. You
Yeah,
know,
and sometimes the good Lord pushes you into that place because a
yeah,
lot of times you can work with people who, okay, well, this feels good, but there's something missing. There's
right,
something missing. Just like somebody lay down a good plate of food in front of you, it looks great, and you taste it and you be like, there's something missing.
right,
Yeah,
right,
but that's because you have that will and the energy that say, I gotta own this. I'm not being selfish. It's just this is a
yeah,
part of my nature. I gotta own it. I gotta own it. Like, okay, I started with Mitch Key, and I was over there a whole lot, right?
right,
I still am. Anytime he's on, I'm over there. But now I'm basically focusing on me because there's something missing.
mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to push the Troy Graham experience as hard and as far as I can push it, right?
It's all about.
And go from there. But we all have that. Now, this is the part of the show where we still got about 9, 10 minutes.
Okay,
Go out and just give your social media out because I don't like waiting till the end to do that. But give out your social media, where they can find you, how they can purchase your clothing and all that.
sure. I'm gonna do something that most people don't do. You can call me directly, straight up. My number is 443-306-3776. 7756. I don't care what time of day it is. My phone does have, I guess you can call it a BS meter on it. So if you don't know you, it will send you right to voicemail. So just leave me a message, or you can text me. I don't care. I'm just so you know, because I get calls all the time. Like, yo, I called you, man, but I keep getting your voicemail. My phone just be doing that. I don't know what the deal is with the phone. I took it to AT&T. They like, hey, we can't figure it out. But hey, it is what it is.
What's it called? A BF? You said BF?
I call it a BS meter.
More
So
like a BS because it put me in the
yeah,
voicemail too. God damn it!
yeah. But it's so funny. I be sitting like, man, I just called you, bro. But nah, it's for real though. Call me. But yeah, you can also go to my website. It's www.dlseanllc.com. DLaShawnLLC.com.
All right.
Shopify. Go on there, grab up some stuff. For those that's been on the site, I'm about to actually revamp and throw some more gear on there because I had another site that I had like probably 250 some odd items on there. So I just took all that stuff down, and with this weather changing like it is, there's always gonna be hoodies and t-shirts on there, but I'll be having like some more casual gear, stuff like that on there for the ladies as well as for the guys. Hats. The embroidered section is going to be coming up soon with all the embroidered pieces. If you got family reunions coming up, hit me up. Uh, I do stuff for, I got corporate clients as well. I do stuff for Toyota, different businesses around the area and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's whatever, man. I'm just out here having fun with it. And I'll work with you, come up with a design, I do logos, it don't matter. So, yeah, it's a fun thing. I mean, I'm pushing my brand, but at the same time, I like to give back and help out people too. So it is what it is. Just hit me up, and we can make some magic happen.
Okay. Now, I want you to give that number out one more time, and I'm gonna tell. Just on a lighter note, I'm gonna tell another story that involves you. But go ahead and give that number out.
Four,
Just
sure. It's 443-306-7756.
All right. Now, you know what? I've told you this story 100 times. Maybe you should tell them the story, but I'm gonna start it off. When Damon first met his wife, right? They, they were dating, and we have a friend named Will. Every what was it? It wasn't Thanksgiving, but every Super Bowl was Father Super Bowl party, right?
Hey, this was a Super Bowl party we was at. Yeah.
Right, right. So every Super Bowl was over Will's house, and you want to tell the rest of the story, or you just want me to
You,
keep going?
you don't said it so many times. It's funny. So go ahead and tell it.
so, so, so we all over Will's house, and we're sitting on the couch, and he did something I never saw him do before. He got up from the couch and he said, "Hey, babe, I'm gonna go get something to eat. You want me to grab your plate? You want me to grab your plate?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure. Just tell me what you." And he said, "Tell me what you want." And I'm like, usually the opposite way around. He asks, he has a way of making them get food for him, and I'm like, okay then. Let me see. So so he goes around the corner where the food is because it's a big house, and I'm like, wow, he really likes you, right? And she was like, really? I said, yeah. I've known him for years. He ain't never get no plate for nobody. And Damon peeping around the corner because he can't hear me or see me because it's a big house, right? He peeping around the corner. I'm like, oh, this fool is not peeping around the corner on me. So me being me, we all know the charming asshole, right?
Yeah.
so I caught him through the corner of my eye. And I'm like, look, just go ahead and play along with me. She's like, okay. So I put my hand on her knee and I'm like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. It's like we talking. And she leaned forward, I leaned forward. That dude blew a gasket, man. He came around the corner with no food, like, come on, we're trying to talk to you for a minute. Everybody in the party was like, oh. Did he just yell at Troy? Because back then, different personalities, different person, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then time kind of stopped. Even Will Father was like, you don't want to do that, Damon. So I go around the corner with Damon, and I don't change my face. I got this stone face on, right? I go around the corner with Damon. And Damon is just, what the hell you doing, man? Let me put your name on, no, 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 no. And I couldn't keep a character. I put my hand on his shoulder and I just bust out laughing in his face. I said, okay, well, she's the one. She's the one. And he said, "You, ooh, I can't stand you. I wish I could kick your ass."
Yeah.
Because he said, he said, "You take stuff to effing farm, man." I'm like, that ain't far. That's just me playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good old days, man. Jeez, but yeah, you called it, bro. You called it. You called it. Because it wasn't long after that we got married.
I know, and I was in the hospital, so I couldn't come.
I know. I know. Yeah, man.
You ain't send me no food neither. See, oh God,
Hey, I still want my fish.
well, okay. As soon as you come to North Carolina, we go
There you
fishing.
go. Nobody told you up and just leave the country. Out
Had to
somewhere.
go, baby. Had to go.
I
I got tired
understand.
of tired of it, man.
Yeah, I understand. But now we gotta get down to North Carolina anyway, man. You need to go holler at Tanya for real.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely do that. I definitely do that. But you know what? I'll say this for both you brothers, man. God has brought all of us a mighty long way, but I've always watched your journey. Even when I left and went to did my own thing, which didn't really work out too well for me because I was impatient, right?
Patience.
just just stubborn and impatient. And you all always told me, just be patient, man. And we all got the talent. We all just got to know our place. I didn't know my place was the problem.
I
I didn't
understand.
know. I didn't want to be lead, but I didn't want to wait either,
True. I
right?
get it. I get it. I get it.
So that's something else in business you got to deal with. I was that brother. I would never backstab you, but if I felt like leaving, I'll just leave. You know, even if it wasn't in my best interest, I'm leaving.
Right.
So, if you don't hear, you're gonna feel, which is what my grandmother told me all the time. And damn it, I felt it. So, but yeah, the reason why I can say I'm honestly proud of both of y'all is because you took the bulls by the horn and you stayed on your path to your dreams, right?
You
And
guys stay
most people are too afraid to do that nowadays. They might start and get
there.
20% there, lose, 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 lose. And that losing causes you to doubt, doubt, doubt.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The big this is another one of my shirts is about to come out too. Shoot. I ain't even gonna say it. I'll just show y'all later. But yeah, that doubt and that self-doubt is a killer, you know what I'm saying? But nah. I got some stuff for that too. I got a new shirt coming out that's basically speaking to what you just said.
Well, I tell you what, you should slap the name of the show on the shirt and or just slap your own company name on the shirt and send me some shirts and I'll wear them every time I do a podcast, man. I'll tell people how to find you and all that.
Oh, it's all good, man. We can put a shirt with your face on it and your cash app and everything, whatever you want. You should
That's fine with me. As long as we all work together, man. That's how it works.
design it, man. We can get you some shirts, man, so you can wear every time you do your podcast. Dang,
Right.
bro. Dang.
Oh, yeah, but thank you for your time because I always say this, man, every show. Time is not something you can repay back. The only way you can repay it back is with respect. So, you know, so definitely thank you. And then I gotta get DJ Rebel back on here when he has more
Yeah,
time. But
yeah.
I actually wanted to do this show long ago, but I didn't know how to actually put it together. I was still learning, right?
It's all good.
So, but
Process. We all
yeah,
learning.
right, because it's important for us to to show this kind of image of us because I'm sick of the slave movies. I'm sick of the BMFs and the Snowfall movie. No offense to them,
Right.
right?
I feel
I
you.
just don't want to see that no more
I feel you.
because there's a whole lot more stories for us to share, right?
Straight
Just
up.
up here, we shared about fatherhood, we shared about business, we shared about brotherhood. It's not all steady water. Sometimes there's big waves,
Yeah.
right? And
Oh,
then you crash on the shore and you got to get the hell back up again, right?
it's a
Nah.
constant pickup. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
mean, it's the mentality of it. Though. That's the biggest thing because I mean, a lot of people they deal with depression. You know what I'm saying? They deal with all kinds of things, and it's hard to keep that smile on your face and keep plugging away when you got other things going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's a testament. You know what I'm saying to be resilient, but at the same time, you always got to put things above. You know what I'm saying? That's the premise. I always give it to him because I mean, for me, all this can be done just like that, right? Anything
Trust me, Ken.
body. You know what I'm saying? As far as I'm concerned. So I live in the moment, but at the same time, I understand my moment. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. It's not me. You know what I'm saying? And as long as you put him first, everything else will follow, bro. That's my role.
Absolutely. I should close out the show with that. But since I didn't say it, I'm not gonna close out
Ah,
that show. Yeah, but you know what, brother? Thank you once again, man. And let me just leave you all with this, man. It's we all been blessed by the Almighty with free will,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So you control the possible, and you let your Father there, or the Almighty, however you want to call him, let him control what you believe to be impossible. Because
yeah,
before I joined the military, they told me it would be impossible for me to get in there. I got in, right?
right.
Boom. Is it possible for me to box? I boxed, right? On a pretty decent level. So,
Mm-hmm.
but look, and this brother here, if you would have met him at the time that I met him, you'd have been like, this is not the dude that I first met, right? Because I
We all
don't,
grow.
huh?
So we all grow.
Yeah, that's why I tell you I'm proud of you all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like when we went to New York, that time you met my cousin Mark, right?
Yeah.
And Mark, yeah, Mark gave us all this food to take home with us: chicken wings, hamburgers, hot dogs. So Damon go out to pump the gas at the gas station off the highway up there on 95, right? Somewhere between, what was it, Damon? Somewhere between Jersey and New York or whatever, right?
Oh,
So anyway, he's like, man, these some dirty ass people out here, bunch of chicken bones outside the car. So what I was doing was I was eating the chicken wings and just throwing up under the car. So he was rifling through the food like, man, where the damn chicken wings? I said, oh, those are chicken wings back at the damn gas station, man. You should have moved faster. I think he cussed me for 2 or 3 tolls, boy.
okay. That chicken smells so good.
It was damn good too. It was damn
I know it
good.
was. I know it was. Yeah, licking your fingers. Finger licking good. Yeah. I need to tell.
Yeah.
I have to even tell Mark about that. That crazy.
All right, brother. Bless up, man. And again, thank you for your time. And I'm
Thank
always
you
gonna be
for
proud
having
of
me.
you, man. And
Thank you.
tell
Thank you. I
yeah,
really
tell that family I said bless up and I love them, man. All right.
will, bro. Appreciate you, man. And
All
more
right.
people. And we're gonna keep supporting you too, man. Anytime you need me on your podcast, just holler at
We'll do, and we'll talk about them shirts because I really do want them. Just like I said, put your company name and just let me advertise
me.
your company.
Hey,
Just simple
hey,
as that.
look, we'll do it however you want, man. We can sit down, and design it however you want and make it happen. There's no
Okay. Okay, that's no problem. All right, brother. Thank you, man.
always, bro. Salute.
All right.
My man.
So yes, it's been another episode of the Troy Graham Experience. Believe it or not, I haven't been keeping up with how many episodes I do. I just do them, and from now on, I'm going to be on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And if my soul moves me, I'm definitely coming on Saturdays. Now he's saying, "Don't you do something with Major Key on Mondays?" Yeah, at 8 o'clock. So what I'll do is I'll schedule it for 7, and then I'll go on with Major right after I'm done here. That's how that'll work. So, but look, I want to thank everybody who came out and gave me the most precious thing they had, which is their time. Time is very important. So, Remy, always a supporter. Thank you. Brother Major Key, thank you. Girl behind the mic, thank you. And for all those that were listening and didn't chime in, thank you. I want to thank, Brother DJ Rebel and Brother Damon for coming through. Took some time and work to get them all on the same schedule, but the good Lord saw fit that I get it done. So, all right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I will be back again with another show. Is it the 13th? I believe so. Well, that's another interview. I might just come on and stay true to what I said about Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and just fly without a guest because I actually like having guests on. I don't really like just doing a podcast where I'm just talking. Right. Thank you, John Manor Key. Okay. Well, thank you. So the next time I have an interview will be the 13th. That's Mr. Ahmad Muhammad. He's the young boxer coming up, aka Mojo from out of Baltimore, and his trainer is the champion maker, Marvin McDowell from Umar Boxing. All right, so bless up, be at peace, and walk the path of your dreams. Bless up, bless up, bless up.